Hi, this is Devin Giddens for the video posting due tonight. Um, we are in class studying about the fundamentalist modernist divide or controversy, which was major divide or schism that occurred in the 1920s and 1930s with the Presbyterian Church in the U.S. The issues were disputes over the role of Christianity, um, scripture, death, resurrection, atoning sacrifice of Jesus, all sorts of different issues. Um, and there were two major groups within the divide: the more fundamentalist, conservative groups, uh, and groups that were more liberal and progressive in their thinking and interpretation of scripture. And so by the end of the 1930s, the consensus is that the liberal theological approach had won out, and um, the more conservative Christians sort of withdrew from the mainstream and became more of an outlier within the context of American Presbyterian Christianity. So I just decided to do my posting on the Auburn Affirmation. This was a document that dated to around May 1924, which was actually titled "An Affirmation Designed to Safeguard the Unity and Liberty of the Presbyterian Church in the United States of America." It was authored by a group, an 11-member group of conference conference committee. It's basically a group of reverends, uh, 11 of them that signed this, uh, and it basically challenged the right of the highest body of the church, the General Assembly, to impose five fundamental tests. I'll get into the fundamental tests in writing in my postings, but that's about what occurred, and they basically challenged the test of orthodoxy without a vote from all the regional bodies of the Presbyterian churches. So I found an article online in the Liberty newspaper database. It's a New York Times article, and this occurs about a decade later, um, on October 12th, and they were basically heresy charges that were filed against the 11 local Presbyterian ministers, and some of them were actually pretty well known in Philadelphia. Uh, so the article itself is rather small, and it goes into action, the, the action that was taken as a final test to determine modernists versus old line Presbyterians, and it was brought forward mainly by a Reverend Griffiths, who published the fundamentalist articles, or published a series of fundamentalist articles with the New York Times. And the accused were the 11 ministers who a decade prior had signed the Auburn Affirmation. And as I said, this was October 12th, 1934 that this occurred. Anyways, And that's basically all the article really has to say, except it lists the 11 ministers and some small quotes by them here and there that lined up with the article. But I'm extremely interested to see where this discussion goes and to get into a little more detail about this article and the Auburn Affirmation, which is sort of glancingly covered um, here in this posting. Thank you so much.